So how would I do SEO for the magician David Blaine? Keep watching to find out. Okay, so the first thing I want to look at is just the overall strength of David Blaine's website. So one thing I usually like to look at when I start a campaign is just see how authoritative the particular site is, because it's going to really be able to dictate how aggressive we're going to be with our SEO strategy. So the good news is his website is pretty strong, a DR60, but honestly, for the level of authority that he has as a magician in his specific industry, this is actually low. I think he should be much higher than this, considering how much media coverage he gets. And as we'll see here very soon, there are many opportunities for him to score more links that he's really not taking advantage of, or his team's not taking advantage of. So this is the first thing but this authority is definitely more than enough to work with. Now, if we look at the overall growth of organic keywords, it's not exactly what we would like to see, right? So at one point they did peak out here in 2018 or so, and that's just been a slow progressive decline. And most of the keywords that they're ranking for, as you'll see here in a second, we'll just open this up, they're mostly branded keywords as you would expect. So as of right now, he's getting roughly, let's say, about 30,000 visitors a month, just basically from branded queries. And you'll see here, almost all of these keywords include his brand in one way or another. Okay, and there is some other stuff, some non-brand stuff like record for holding breath and various other things, but I'd say 90+% of his keywords are branded, which is a part of when we see this, we need to really build a strategy upon this. And ultimately, there's no reason that his website shouldn't be ranking for any branded keywords that are directly related to his name. So one thing that I did right away is we want to really extract all of the existing keywords, and we want to prioritize keywords that are branded. So when we look at this, we'll go to the actual existing keywords and you'll see that something really interesting here. So I highlighted these just so you could see, but we'll go ahead and filter by this green here. And all of these keywords, if we look at the current position, these are all keywords related to David Blaine. Some of them are, kind of silly keywords like net worth. He's probably not going to want to write about that on his own website, his wife. But then there's some about street magic. There's some about the balloon and some about the ascension trick that he did. There's all kinds of other things here that he should definitely be writing about, or at least have pages on his website about. And if you look at the positions, he's not ranking well for keywords that he should absolutely be dominating. So if you just look at these keywords alone, we're looking at roughly 38,000 searches a month just from these keyword variations, and these are purely branded. These are not non-branded keywords. So just by doing this alone, just by optimizing for his brand, he's going to see a huge influx of organic traffic. So that's the first thing that I would do. The second thing I would do is I would start to look for additional opportunities outside of the branded queries. So what I'll do is, you can use your own best judgment, you can use Ahrefs, but you can also actually use ChatGPT to do this. So I just did a couple of things here. First, I did share 100 entities related to David Blaine. So I wanted to see what are these things that are closely related to his name and anything about him. And there's all kinds of ideas here. So we can look at street performer, illusionist, magician. These all become seeds for getting additional content ideas. So take advantage of this. You can use this. And then also, if we go down here, I told it to keep going, but we'll keep going down. And then I also asked, what are 20 frequently asked questions about David Blaine? So once again, you can use Google to do this. For example, let's go to Google and we'll just type in David, if I can spell, David Blaine. And what we're going to be able to see here is there's going to be a people also asked section, okay? And you can use SEO Minion to extract these people also ask. So what you can do here is just actually select the people also asked section here, and you can do 2 levels, 5 levels, whatever. We'll just do a quick one here. We'll do the 30-second one. And you can do download or you can do copy. Doesn't really make a difference. So then we'll just hit go, and then this will start to crawl all of these people also ask, and you can use these as content ideas, okay? And then what I do is I like to add it just to a little sheet here so I can see what are all these different FAQs that I can answer. And sometimes you may just include these on one kind of epic page, but you may want to create separate pages for these specific keywords if you're seeing that Google's delivering kind of a different set of results, right? So, for example, how old is David Blaine is going to deliver much different results than where is David Blaine from, okay? These are very different intents here, very different meanings. So it's probably going to deliver a completely different set of results. So regardless, frequently asked questions is one of the best places to start. Now, the next thing to do is we need to find what keywords his competitors are ranking for that he's not ranking for. And with his level of authority, he will have no problem ranking for non-branded keywords. It should be an absolute breeze. And all you need to do is actually just go into Ahrefs, and we'll actually go over to his site here, and you just go over to the competing domains, and we'll go ahead and open this up, and you'll see these are all the domains. And I always like to sort by keywords unique to competitor. And these are all the keywords that these domains are ranking for that he is not ranking for. So what you'll do is then you just go over to the keyword gap, and actually they call it content gap, but I kind of like to call it a keyword gap. And you can just go ahead and copy these, and we'll just do one for example here, and then you just click show keywords. And the outcome is you'll see here in this keyword gap, I did actually 3 different competitors. You'll see that we have found all kinds of keywords that he could potentially target. Now, obviously, he's not going to target all of these, right? But there's some obvious ones that he could easily do, like coin tricks. He could have a dedicated page just to coin tricks, and it's only a KD of 11, right? But it gets 1,600 searches a month, and this is just one keyword that he could attack right here. That's a non-branded keyword. Another one here, actually how to do card tricks. Another one, perfectly aligns with what he does, right? Keep going through here. There's all kinds of other things that he can attack. So the point is that when we narrow these gaps between your website and the competitors, you are going to build topical authority. That's what we're trying to do. We want it to be abundantly clear that David Blaine is the absolute authority on magic. That's what we're trying to do. And we do that by creating more content. And in a case like this, it should be a piece of cake. All he needs is just a little bit of a team to record some videos of him and then actually transcribe those tricks so they can see it actually on a page itself. Even sleight of hand, like showing people how to do sleight of hand, right? Who wouldn't love to learn how to do sleight of hand from David Blaine? Like, this would be a piece of cake. So it automatically would probably acquire more links than the average person. It would get more visibility than the average person. And this would all lead to better performance in Google. So this is what we're looking at. So first, just to review, we want to prioritize the branded keywords first. So the branded keywords that are not performing well, we attack these first. We only focus on these. Once these are squared away, now we move into these other opportunities. So first we would do these existing keywords, and then we would jump into the frequently asked questions, pretty related to the existing keywords. And then next we want to attack the keyword gap, because we want to narrow that gap between us and the competitors. So that's it for keyword research at a high level. And then what we want to do is you can actually use ChatGPT to go even further with this. So we'll go over here and you can generate more topics, right? So this kind of got messed up here, but you'll see here, it has all kinds of topics. Some are relevant, some are not. But if we start over here, magic tricks, illusion, sleight of hand, card magic, all kinds of stuff that he has tons of experience and expertise in, right? So he can tackle probably at least 50% of these, no problem. So what you do is you take this little seed right here and you just go into the Keyword Explorer, and then we just enter that little seed, and then we can look at the matching terms and see what comes up, okay? So we started to see these matching terms. Now what I did is I used all those seeds to build an even bigger database. So I found about 399 keywords. Some are branded and some are not. But with that said, we're looking at about 175,000 searches a month. This doesn't include all the long tail variations and all the variations of these keywords. This is just a very broad target. So think about that. Just targeting this, and even if you got 50% of this total volume, it would be a substantial increase in organic search traffic, which means if you increase the organic search traffic going to his site, that's going to lead to more tickets, that's going to lead to more sales in his shop, and all those good things. So this is what we should be doing when we're trying to improve SEO performance. Now, next thing is, once again, the entities, I put that in here. Topics, I threw all the topics in here just so we're nice and organized. At this point, I truly believe that he should be ranking much better and he should have much more authority, right? And he, like I said, he has pretty good authority. DR60, that's nothing to complain about. You can definitely get tons of great results with that level of authority, but he's really, really missing out on so many links that he should have. I mean, only about 2,000 referring domains is barely anything. And I think even my website, Gotcha SEO, has more than this. And I'm not even close to the level of authority that David Blaine has. I mean, I'm like 0.00001% of the authority that he has. So there's no reason that I should have more links than him. That's just not, doesn't even make sense. So what we want to do is we want to look for unlinked brand mentions in this case, because there's a very high likelihood that people talk about David Blaine all the time online and he doesn't actually get links back to his website. We don't want that. We need to be getting those links. So what you can do is actually we'll go into Google and we're going to type a little command. It's called in text, like this, in text : okay? And then we're just going to do David Blaine. Okay, so what we want to do is you want to click on one of these and see, have they actually linked to David Blaine's website? So if we look at this and we go down, we'll go ahead and look for David Blaine specifically, and we'll see, did they link to him? And the answer is no. So this is a perfect example of an unlinked brand mention that's on the New York Times. So this is a really valuable link that he doesn't currently have. So he and his team need to go through and reach out to all of these authors, all of these sources, and try to get a link here, okay? And it will make a huge difference. And I'll say the success rate for unlinked brand mentions is pretty low. You're probably gonna look at maybe 15 to 20% on the high end. Like if you're really doing a good job, you might be able to score 15 to 20% of those links, but it's really worth it. And it can make a huge difference. So I would start here with the unlinked brand mentions, and then I would go into the broken backlinks. So we can actually just go over to back to his site, and then we'll go to broken backlinks and see, are there any links that have just been removed or pages that were removed? And then we can reach back out to those sites and say, hey, I saw that you had this page where we talked about XYZ and you were linking to us. I was wondering if maybe we could write a guest post on your site. I was wondering if maybe we could get that link back. You know, you can negotiate, right? So, and in particular, looking at this one, we see Wikipedia, and it looks like Wikipedia isn't even actually linking to his site anymore, according to this. Now, that might be wrong, but still, we need to check and see, is Wikipedia linking to his main site, which is really, really important, right? So that's what we need to do. Now, the next thing that we'll want to do to score even more link opportunities is go back to the competing domains once again, and then we're actually going to take those domains and put them through the link intersect tool, okay? So I put 4 of these competitors through the link intersect tool, and I'm able to see all of the sites that are linking to these competitors but are not linking to davidblaine.com, okay? And then we need to go through all of these and try to score links on these sites. Now, some maybe aren't worth it, some are, but could you imagine if you were doing outreach under David Blaine as a ghostwriter, basically, and saying, hey, David Blaine here, I was just wondering, I saw that you're linking to these websites. I was wondering if you would be willing to link to us. Like, the success rate of using David Blaine as your outreach would be astronomical, right? It would be absolutely astronomical. So I highly recommend doing this, and it would be a piece of cake. You'd be able to scale outreach so easily. Almost the success rate of this would be huge compared to just any other business. So when you have a little bit of authority, outreach becomes much easier. For example, if I was doing outreach for SEMrush in the SEO industry, my success rate would be much higher than if I had some tool that no one had heard of, right? This is just authority in action. So cannot recommend this enough. You put the link app in here, and then you have all of these opportunities. So what I like to do is I'll just go over here, and then we'll add a little filter, and then we can sort by domain rating, okay? And then we just go down in this order, right? We're gonna start with the highest authority opportunities and work our way down and keep going. And you just look at this, like there's so many opportunities just in this range from, you know, DR70 to DR90 or so. We're looking at almost 350 opportunities that you can attack, right? Give or take, right? Some of these are not going to be qualified, but for the most part, we're looking at least 300 high authority sites that we can get links on. Now, one thing to think about when you're doing your outreach, and especially when you have this many opportunities, look at the overall authority of the site that you're going after. So like he has a DR60, so I really need to focus on sites that have a DR that's higher than his, right? It's not to say that these lower authority sites aren't worth it. They're definitely low-hanging fruits. You can probably score links very easily, but we want to really focus on the sites that are much stronger than his, and that will help grow authority much faster. Once we've tapped those out, then there's no problem going through and attacking these lower authority sites. But I really, honestly, probably wouldn't even go below DR20. Like at that point, you're probably not going to see too much bang for your buck as far as the investment in actually doing this outreach, negotiating, and all the things that come along with that. But once again, tons of opportunities. I mean, when we go down to DR20 and above, we're looking at roughly 1,800 opportunities. Okay, barely any work. All we did was just do a link gap, and now we have 1,800 opportunities that we can reach out to. So just do the math on that. Even if you got 20% of those links, that would accelerate that link profile very, very fast. So one other thing you can do too is we'll just go right into Google, and this is one of my favorite techniques for finding link opportunities, is I like to look for lists. So one thing I'll do is just like best magicians, and this is a whole list post, all these list posts that we can go and try to get David Blaine into these lists. And if he's not in these lists, he should be, right? So if we look at this, top 10 famous magicians of our time, and we'll see, is David Blaine in here? And it looks like he is not, right? He's not here. There's a little related thing here, but he's not actually on this list. So we could reach out as David Blaine, of course, and say, hey, I noticed you had this list of top magicians. I'm David Blaine, and I have done all these accomplishments. I have a show in Las Vegas and all these authority building things. I don't think it's really necessary for him to build himself up too much. I mean, I think pretty much everyone knows who David Blaine is. But for the most part, there's just no reason that he shouldn't be on these lists, right? He's one of the most well-known magicians, and there's just no reason he shouldn't be here. So that is what I would do to acquire more links. And that is what the approach I'd be taking to build the overall organic traffic of David Blaine's site. Not a whole lot of issues here. This is just a matter of finding those branded keywords and attacking those branded keywords first, attacking the frequently asked questions that are related to his brand, attacking the non-branded keywords and building that overall topical authority, and then just acquiring links at a consistent pace. That will grow the organic search traffic of David Blaine's website.